Hi everyone, my name's Tamara. This is Sunday morning and I'm going to be doing the full moon reading for each astro sign. And this is on the 12th of February, so this is this Wednesday. I've already done the given 11 shuffles, that's 12. We're going to do another 2 here. This is very powerful, this full moon coming up. I think everybody realizes that. We're already in the line of fire, if you like. This is the full moon in Leo. And we're going to do these through the astro signs. Let's start with Libra. Let's see what's coming up for Libra. Oh my goodness. And I'm laughing because look at this card. Libra, it's all over. That battle that you've been going through, it's over. You've let go of what you needed to let go of. This is the card of laughter and letting go, the goddess of laughter. And this is a true laugh, not a falsely held one with a bit of a grimace behind it. This isn't like that. This is feeling so light and carefree. I'm a Libra sun myself, and this time right now definitely feels like this to me. I've let go of so much over the last 2 weeks and gone through a whole cleansing in my own body that's bringing me out so much more solid on who I really am, and what I need to do now as I go forward. So Librans, laugh now, have a good belly laugh because it's all been worth it. It wasn't all pain and angst, It was a lot of stuff coming at you, but you needed to see that before you would let go of what wasn't required for you to hold on to and to embrace and allow in the really good things that are coming, especially on the financial abundance side for Librans. This is why she's looking so full of herself. She is full of her real self now. I love that card for the first card out. Let's do Gemini. Where are we going? Look at this. This is everybody having done the work. The ones that have done the work are coming through clear. Look at this. The Shakti lineup. The lineup of the energies in the right positions. I'm hoping this lighting is going to work. I'm in my new setup. I've actually set up a whole new room for the readings and the videos for my future presentations, which are going to be much bigger than what I'm doing now. But look at this. Look at every energy center in its balanced hue of color. Not just the right color, but the right hue, the right sense of being behind that energy center. The power in that. That means you're really balanced, Gemini, which may be the first time for a very long time. And if you're not feeling this balance, for some Geminis, it's because you haven't finished the work yet. You need to keep on your path of doing the clearing of the shadow self. Loving this. Let's see Aquarius. Where are we going? With Aquarius, this is a lot to do with the mother wound still for you. There is something still hovering here that hasn't been healed. And it may be affecting you as the mother in this life too, because the way that we're mothered, if we don't heal that, if it wasn't all that it could have been because of the unhealed mother that we chose in this life, because that's how it really is, then we go through that childhood with a lot of resentment. And when we come to be a mother ourselves, we need to do that healing right. If we haven't done it already, we have to do it really quick. If we're about to birth our own child, you also have to go in and make sure that your mother wound is healed. I don't know anybody who's never had a mother wound, because we weren't born into conscious families. The children now have that opportunity to choose and be born into more conscious families, but we did not have that opportunity because the consciousness frequency, definitely when I was born in 1948, just wasn't that high. So Aquarians, get working on the last, if it is the last for you, of the mother wound, or if it's the beginning, get going very quickly now. Because 2025 is the year when we're really shifting and moving. Like a roller coaster ride, but not so horrifying. It will be, if you haven't done the work. I must admit, I'm watching that in a few people right now. But if you have done the work, then it's still a roller coaster ride, going through all the expressions that need to be made in this world to clear the debris, and within yourself. So the world's working through its debris, but we are working through our own debris. The planet itself is working through its debris, as we see with all the earthquake activity across the planet right now, and volcanic action too. Let's go on to water now, and I'm going to start with Cancer. Cancer still needs to be bringing things to a head. There's been a lot going on for all astro signs, but Cancer particularly has been trying to get real with themselves, and it has been a battle. Many Cancerians are still dealing with that, and make sure that you're not covering it over, because that's the worst thing you can do right now. If you've still got addictions that are anesthetizing you, then how the heck are you gonna bring things to the surface that need to come to the surface? You're not even seeing reality as it is. If you're still anesthetizing with food, booze, dope, other drugs, other activities, sex, I mean, all of that can anesthetize you so that you don't bring to a head. Now, if you don't do that, as we come to that final crossroads, the final clarion call for those who are still capable of waking up, you're going to be too far gone into the illusion to wake up. So be quick now, Cancerians. Bring everything to a head so that you see everything clearly, heal it, and move on. And start really working with who you truly are, and not that emotional mess that you can be because you're such a feeling soul. You came through to feel the real stuff, not all this emotional debris that's left from your childhood, your relationships, your horror show that you've been operating in some cases for Cancerians. All signs have been operating in quite a horror show when we think about it. Some got on the path early here, so, you know, they're partly through their mess, but there are a lot of people still who are just at the beginning of their journeys, and now it really has to be a fast track. So go on to my playlist. It's all on there for you. All the things you need to do is on my fast track to Cosmic Consciousness playlist. All very short videos giving you very concise, easy techniques which work, which I've used for 40 odd years now. It's got to be 44 years that I've been working with all of the techniques and things that I work with. Okay, let's go for Pisces here. Pisces is Hestia with the home, the comfort, the home, feeling at home. And a lot of Pisces drift around that. Everybody needs to feel at home, even if it's only in feeling at home in your own body, in your own temple that you chose this time. And this needs to be healed now so that you do have a sense of home. And for some Pisces, it is also that they need to have a home base, something that they've worked for, they've made for themselves, and they've put the energy into securing for themselves. But for others, it's still that primary feeling of not feeling at home in themselves, and haven't really got in contact with why they're here. And again, it's going to be, if you are feeling this, it's going to be that you have not healed the shadow self and the mother-father wounds, all of that stuff, which is all becoming a bit repetitive and a bit boring now because most people should have moved off from this. So for other Pisces, if you haven't found that place yet, start to think about where you feel most at home and what is your intuition telling you, because this again is going to be very important from now on, is being able to intuit where you need to be and where needs to be home for now, because I think a lot of us are going to be moving around. Look at Santorini right now. There are still 40% of those residents who have not moved off the island in case there's a huge volcanic eruption or a huge earthquake. Now, what are they hanging on to? Because they should be using their intuition. They can go back if it doesn't happen. And that's what they need to know, that their sense of home is within themselves, and within their higher self instructions is where your home really lies for the next 10 years. And I'm going to stay with that for the next 10 years. The next 5 years are crucial, but the next 10 years is where you're going to be using your intuition as your higher facility of instruction. It has to be, otherwise you'll be one of them that doesn't leave Santorini. And everything is showing right now in Santorini that this could be it. The volcano has now filled with magma. I checked this morning because it's going to affect a lot of areas around Greece. And the magma chamber that was full when that volcano went off and caused extreme damage in the past is now full. They have checked that. And 40% of those residents stay on that island. This does not make sense. It's not sense. And it's not them using their intuition. It's them trying to hang on to the structure of their house, their home, their contents, scared somebody might rob their things in the house. And they could all lose their lives over this. So be aware of this. This is where we're going in the future. The earth will cleanse, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. The earth is cleansing. That was the first book I channeled in 1991, and I couldn't believe it either then. But it's been in my blood and in my bone marrow for all those years since. And I know that it's now starting to begin in earnest. So Pisces, think about home within yourself and what that means to you and where should you be right now. We're going to Scorpio. Oh my goodness, Scorpio. Okay, so for Scorpio we have two cards. I cannot deny this. Two cards just flipped in my hand as I touched the cards. I wasn't even turning them. And for Scorpio, this is amazing. Look at this. This is getting your house in order. We can't make this up. I love to be able to say that every time a little spot or a huge lump of magic appears in my readings. This is getting your house in order. And this is a flow of order. This isn't rigid rules around order. This is you getting everything so that it's flowing in time, in the right space of time, which is now. Getting that house in order, everything in your life in order, and the abundance is going to come in. It's going to pour in. The order, goddess of order and abundance, is a true sign of everything coming into you that you need right now. This is going to be some Scorpio's dreams fulfilled too. Real inner dreams, real dreams from their hearts. Look at that. And abundance isn't always money. Abundance is that feeling of being in touch with the real thrill and life energy. Love that for Scorpios. What a turn up there. Let's see where we're going now. I'm going to have to move these cards. This is my first time using this table. I love it, actually. Hopefully I've got the light right. Let's go with Capricorn for Earth. And Capricornies now are trying to work out how it's all fitting together. This is the synthesis of our new energy that's coming through now. Because for Capricorns, they've had a lot to let go of from the old systems of the world, the old matrix that has been holding on to and controlling every function of our world. Not the earth, of our world. The world is what, is connected on top of that earth, and what we form as human beings. We form the world. The earth structure is what it is. And all of its energy will keep rebalancing it, as we know, as we go through the biggest cleansing that anybody on this earth has ever seen. We are in the beginning movements of that. But for Capricornies, this is understanding the wood for the trees, seeing how everything's connected now. and how it's connected through frequency and energy, not money and status. This is so powerful for Capricorns to get this. And a lot of them are being stirred into a bit of a mess, trying to understand what's going on, as all the institutions now begin to break down, so that we form new circular functioning communities where everybody has a say, everybody's in peace and equality. I love talking about that. Don't get me going on that. I could do many, many videos on my dreams and my thoughts and the channelings that I've received on that, which I will do in the future. Okay, let's do Taurus. What's happening to Taurus? I have a feeling this might have come up before, but this is grief here. And for Taurians, we have Uranus in Taurus, I think, at the moment, and at the time of this full moon on Wednesday. Remember, you have a little bit of time here, a couple of days. This is why I'm doing it early, to get really in tune with what's going on here. With obviously Pluto in Aquarius really spinning that top, clearing everything out, first showing it. Well, a lot of truths coming to the surface first and then cleansing. But also at this same time, within Taurus is Aquarius, which is also stirring the pot of the old money, financial and love side of Taurus, which is connected to Venus. So Venus is going to be coming through in all its glory of true love and balanced energetically on the financial side, where it isn't stored, held onto, where there is a flow of the energy of abundance. I'm even reluctant to say money here, because we should be able to live with the resources being shared continuously throughout the planet for everyone. And that's my vision for the future. And that vision isn't just just a sort of candy floss tree. It was given to me when I first started channeling in 1991 that we could achieve this. And it's always been in my heart as I pushed forward every day since then. So this is grief for Taurians who are still hanging on to the old. And I've had a lot of that with clients who are Taurians. But it's also, it's a lot of Taurian energy that's stuck in the financial and in the love side, which is about status and money too. So there's a real true cleanup going on for Taurians still, and they're grieving, and they need to grieve. You cannot get rid of that energy that you've held on to until you also heal it, but also then grieve it. Grieve the loss of what your feelings were about then. So it's grief, and it's going through the grieving of, write it all out, write a letter about all the financial stuff and what you're letting go of, and that you now see it as illusion. But also, if you can see that is, don't fake it to make it, just do it if you've got to that point. But also do that on love, because Venus is finances and love. So you need to write that out about illusions you had about relationships. Great. So that is, let's hope I can remember the other one here. So we had Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I cannot forget it. Virgo. I have a Virgo ascendant. Look at the anger. Oh my goodness. Virgos. You have to go beyond this anger. You may have started your healing and then got caught up in the anger here. But Virgos are perfectionists, right? Virgos are about all the little details in things on a perfection level as well. Whereas really we have to look at the bigger picture across the world, particularly at the moment, don't we? People can say that we're now in chaos, but you don't get the peace and freedom and the real change until you first stir the pot. It's like baking a cake. You know, you get this really sloppy mixture. I was doing this recently, making this lovely recipe with green banana flour, which is resistant starch. So it doesn't have the same response in your body. And I really wanted to make this recipe, but I had this really, it kept changing, this mixture. First of all, it was really thick and I couldn't move it. because I was kind of adapting a recipe, and then I had to put like more soya milk in there and then more flavoring in there, and then it went too sloppy, and it's like I'm adjusting. And this is like the world right now. Before we get to putting that cake in the oven and baking it and it coming out perfect, tasty, delicious, light, free, and for everyone, we first go through the mess in the bowl. And we have to get the texture, the consistency, the flavour, everything right. And this is what we're doing with the world that we're building. But first, one of the parts of it is anger. And this is maybe the second stage. When you get your mixture going, you've got to put it in the fire, haven't you? And this is not like the fire. This is the bit where you do the healing and you think everything's going to be all okay. And for Virgos, maybe they're meditating, they're doing a bit of the healing of the shadow, and then they start to get angry about why everything isn't perfect yet. And you then got to go through the fire. You've got to bake that cake and let it stabilize. And this is what that middle part of the journey is about. We all get angry about what we've been through. You know, at some point I'm going to do a whole video on what I've been through, because it's going to help others. And I know there's some others who've gone through exactly what I've gone through, which has been quite severe, and not, you know, and coming at me as well, where I've had to defend myself, where I haven't really been a part of the problem. But it's all made me baked in the right way, and I feel like I'm that cake who's just come out of the oven. I've had huge revelations for myself, and letting myself be so much more who I am. And this is what Virgos have to do. You've now got to get rid of that. Like, I was angry. I got angry quite a few times. There are moments, you know, on my own where it was like I was in the anger thinking, why is this happening, and why are they doing all this? And why me, you know? But I went through the fire. I went through the anger, the fire of the anger. And then I came out as the baked cake. How far are you getting towards coming out as the baked cake with the right flavour, the right energy to feed the body? You know, it's all in there, isn't it? In a cake. And it's delicious. Don't forget, we've still got to come out with that humour and the love side of life. Even when we're burning, what do they used to call it? Burning the rod. And that's like dark night of the soul. I've really been through that in the last 6 months. And I feel so light and airy now. I am that airy sponge cake now. I'm not going to absorb too much of other people's stuff, but I'm going to absorb everything the divine sends down to me and downloads. So come on, Virgos, get out of the anger and get into the next great stage, right? Let's go on to fire, and that's Aries. And some Aries, think about this. The Aries card in the tarot is the Emperor, and there are a lot of emperors, aren't there, that are coming unstuck right now. Think of Hollywood, think of politics in the US. And, you know, I was in a conversation with a group of people yesterday when I was out in the sunshine, and it was interesting because I could suddenly see all that they were talking about that's happening in the States. And I said to them in the end, I said, this is the Monty Python show on steroids that's happening in the States to show people the hypocrisy, the illusion, and the horror of what we've all been living and where we're really truly going, and certainly on a political and a Hollywood front. But on all fronts as people. And that what's going to happen now is the cleansing of the earth, and then we all, as the frequency goes higher, have a chance to join with that frequency. But for Aries, they're taking a blow. A lot of Aries who are the I am, and they are the baby of the soul. Remember that. I mean, Trump is like a picture of that. Do you know something? I don't know what sign he is, but he appears to me like the false emperor. And he's there. He's doing his job, though. He's on his mission because he's here to show people what that's like. And he's going to completely, you know, bottom out the United States so everybody understands the illusion of what they were trying to project out to the world, which was always an illusion of their ultra power, which came from the wrong base. So there's illness. There's a sense of illness and wellness. So a lot of emperors, you've got to get yourself into one side of this or the other, and it's got to be the wellness side. This is where you can experience a lot of illness if you hang on to the upside down, reversed emperor part of Aries. You've now got to get all your gifts going. You've got to heal your shadow side, which is the emperor in reverse. You've got to come through fighting again, and you've got to get well. And that is well on a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual side. And for Aries, that's so important. A lot of Aries are really moving now, but they still will have healing and little tests coming up. But for some, we can see that the emperor now has no clothes. He is stark naked in a lot of situations in life. A lot of emperors are naked in America right now. A lot of emperors are going to be naked in other countries as they try and hold on to the old Capricorn politics, all sorts of stuff. So that's very apt for Aries. Let's do Sagittarius now. And we're going to end with the Leo because the full moon is in Leo and will affect our Leos. Let's and think about that. The full moon is Leo, which is the leader card, and the lion standing forth, but with the, not attacking people because they don't unless they're attacked. So you leave a lion alone and it's not going to attack you. And you're not affecting their life, they're not going to come after you. And this is the same. The emperors are part of that lion, right? And the emperor Aries sometimes go out there as the false Aries upside down. So we're going to Sagittarius first, and Sagittarians are on a crossroads here. It's a crossroads of choice. So you're still kind of working out which direction you're going to go in. But what you need to know is that it has to be your highest values in your life and in the world. So you need to be pulling on your intuition, and you need to be meditating, Sagittarians, because Sagittarians are boldly moving forward. There are gifts being given to Sagittarians. The energy is rife for them right now. And I don't know the astro behind that, the transits behind that. I'm not an expert in that. But have a look that up, because the crossroads for some is still there and they haven't chosen the path yet. So what we're telling you here, and the reason this has come out, is you are looking towards your best and path and to lead others, because we're in that Leo energy. And this is fire as well. So like the emperors, they have to become the well, upright emperors. And for Sagittarians, you've got to choose the right path to use your gifts and to journey along. Oh, I'm excited for Leo here. Let's see. Perfect. You cannot ever make this up. Divining is such a powerful tool. Look at this. Leo in the wild man and wild woman. And we had that recently come up too. In one of my lays, I can't remember which one it was, but it came up for Leos, the wild man, wild woman. And I actually labelled the video, wild man, wild woman. And that does not mean wild in the way where you go out and party and you're using substances. We're talking about the wild woman, wild man, who is on their mission, in their full power, has their heart open, and has done the healing. And this is for Leos. Do not go forward until you have completed your healing. Otherwise, you may go on the wrong path forward. You may say the wrong thing at the wrong moment, which stops everything for you. Fly in your full colours. That's the next workshop I'm running. And I've been planning this for years, actually, and it's never felt the right moment. But now it is. And I've always related this card. All of my clients want this card out, but they don't get it out until they're either on the brink of the real changes, and it's showing them that they can be the wild man, wild woman in the right way, in the right frequency, on the highest frequency. Don't you just love it? We're ending with that. I think we ended with it on one of the other lays, but this is full moon on Wednesday. You have 2 full days here to feel the energies coming in that are going to assist you to open up to whatever came up for you on your sign in this reading. Please subscribe to the channel so that I can keep putting this information out. And then everybody gets to see the video too. I've got, like my videos, they start to fly and then they stop. But I am going to try and sort that out. I have to contact YouTube direct and ask who is doing that, why that has happened. Is it something I'm saying that gets banned? I don't know. I don't cuss. But I have talked about sexuality on here a lot when the sacred sexuality card comes up, but never in a crude way, because it's not a sacred sexuality is erotic but not crude. So I don't know why, but I may be what they call shadow banned, and I don't even really understand that. Maybe because somebody can comment and ask me why that's happening. But there is a restriction on how far my videos go, and I want you all to be positive about this and help me. Subscribe, like the videos, start commenting, because this is vital information for people, coming from a higher stance with the information that I am given. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me into your sacred space today. Bye for now.